Hey guys, on this video I'm going to tell you when to properly burst as an arms DPS and what spells to use. So the first two questions that actually pop into my head, and I think to anyone, is it the right time for me to burst, and what spell should I use and in what order. So usually you always want to use your burst and the offensive cooldowns right after the target uses some of his defensive cooldowns. Not all, but some is okay. So for warrior, we always need to make sure that we always have colossus smash ready. So we need to make sure that colossus smash is always ready, and we have enough rage so we can get a kill. Now it depends on what talent you use, either shockwave or blade storm, because it differs on the amount of rage you need and what spells to use first. So I'm going to first explain about blade storm and then about shockwave. So for blade storm, again, you always need to make sure you have colossus smash ready, and if you're not using bloodbath like I'm using avatar at the moment, so you need to make sure that the target is actually slowed down, so the blade storm can actually hit the target without him running away. So, and also you need to make sure that you have at least 50. No, thank you. So you have at least 50 rage. So after you use your blade storm, you can actually get 1 or 2 slams and hopefully 1 execute. So first I'm going to charge to get some rage. Then going to pop mortar strike just for the extra rage. Okay, so I have about 46 rage now. Now it's about 50. Now I'm going to use. You can pop your burst and then use colossus smash, so it can crit, but it doesn't really differ. But you just use it for the little boost of damage. So I'm going to pop and then go use colossus smash. Then I'm going to quickly blade storm. You also need to root the target, but this is a dummy, so I don't need to root it. But usually you're going to root and then blade storm. Right after that, you're going to have blade storm does not use rage, so you'll have the same rage you always have before blade storming. So I'd use slam and always making sure that colossus smash debuff is on the target, because we want all our damage to bypass the armor. So I'm going to use slam as much as possible. Also, I'm not going to forget about mortar strike. So you also need to make sure that you're using mortar strike. And if your target is quite low, you need to use execute. But so let's say I'm going to pop everything, use colossus smash, then blade storm, and then I'm going to use 2 slams, and then mortar strike, and then execute, and hopefully the target is dead. If not, I'm just going to go back to the original rotation, because at that time my offensive cooldowns are already gone. So that's for blade storm. Now for shockwave, I'll need a little bit more of rage, because then there's no blade storm, so I'm going to have to use slam more often. I don't really use overpower when I'm bursting, because overpower has a 60% of being crit, and most of the offensive cooldowns of warrior is boosting your crit. So if it's already a crit, I don't need to further increase that. But slam has a normal crit chance, so I'm going to want to increase that and hopefully get more kills after that. So at the moment my cooldowns are not ready yet, so I'm just going to assume I have them. I'm going to change blade storm to shockwave. So I'm going to keep avatar. So now we need to always wait for colossus smash. It's just always, and then this time we're going to need about 70 plus rage. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use colossus smash, also use spam as much as possible, but this time I need to focus more on waiting for my mortar strike cooldown, so I can use that more often. And when you're bursting, actually mortar strike is at a higher crit chance, so you'll actually get 10% more rage from that. So you can use more slam, and thus you can also execute when the target is below 25. you can always shockwave. I don't really like to shockwave the second I charge. I like to use it wisely because it's not like it has a 40-second cooldown, so I don't like to just pop shockwave whenever I just charge into my target. So usually you really don't have shockwave when you're bursting, but it's okay to wait for it. It's not right. If you can lock the target, then you wouldn't need shockwave unless he's going to like bubble and you need to remove that. But it's just to help you guarantee he's not going to heal if he's a healer or kite you. There's a couple of other things I need to take note of. Is that you need to make sure that you always have the trinket before you pop, because most warriors I see doing is they don't have trinket and then they pop everything they have and then like they get like stunned, Fist of Fury or something. Well, you can't trinket Fist of Fury because it will just hit you another time. Let's say they get like Cyclone and everything goes away and then they complain like, I can't get the kill. So that's why you always need to make sure you have the trinket. It's just 2 minutes cooldown, so you can just like have them respectively with your burst, because most of the enemies would want to burst you, to want to CC you exactly when you're bursting, to reduce as much as they can the damage they take. But if you're playing versus a priest, sometimes warlocks, you can just go ahead with Berserker Rage. But it's still better to wait for the trinket. And that's it for the burst. It's quite simple. I'm sorry if that took a bit long to explain. It's just quite simple. You always need to wait for colossus smash and have at least 50 to 70 rage before you pop everything. And you use slam and not overpower. Usually in the normal rotation we actually use overpower more often, but here we use slam because overpower has a higher crit chance without any offensive cooldowns used. That being said, I'm going to leave you with some of the nice games I found and times I burst. But before I go, I would just want to tell you that it's not always like having a perfect burst, but we're trying to get as much possible damage as we can on the target. So it might not work every time, but practice will do, and never give up. Thanks again for your time, and hope you subscribe and like our channel. So I'm going to leave you the video with the footage now. See ya.